I'm 24 years old, and for some time now I've been noticing a very high degree of young people completely lost in life, and much of this stems from completely dysfunctional homes caused by irresponsible parents who became parents at a very young age and did not know how to raise and prepare their children for the real world, where many changes, primarily due to technological advancement, are taking place. I decided to make this video just to reflect on the role of family in a young person's life. As a young person, I can say that I also have a huge frustration stemming from the fact that I was not raised in a home with a good family that gave me attention and taught me things akin to what a structured family could have taught me. I want to make it clear here that I'm not trying to be a victim. This is just my opinion based on my life story. I've been using the internet since I was 9 years old, and I feel that the internet served during my adolescence as a way to compensate for the lack of attention I didn't receive in my childhood. It was a way to escape the problems I faced during my teenage years. Naturally, my life became even more difficult than it had been in my childhood. That's why I see so many young people addicted to smartphones, the internet, computers, and video games. I also spent hours and hours on my computer playing games, listening to music, and interacting with the few classmates I had at school. Oftentimes, many of my family members only sought me out to ask for favors. Frequently, these favors came with a level of demand far beyond what a teenager could realistically fulfill. They were completely foolish, harmful, and extremely narcissistic demands. I always questioned, why don't you just go and do it for yourself? There's nothing worse than being emotionally drained by your family. A clear sign of this is when you confront those people who drain your mental health almost daily, asking you what they've done that's so wrong, as if supposedly they've always given you everything, which is a lie. We all know that type of person does only the bare minimum of what needs to be done, and they do it poorly. Sometimes being outside at school or anywhere else was better than being at home. There's nothing worse for a human being than knowing that they're trying to make a fool of you. There's nothing more infuriating than someone challenging your intelligence. For instance, I was often told I was very intelligent, that I had a lot of knowledge for my age, that I had high analytical ability, yet at the same time, my family made no effort to avoid trying to deceive me or make me feel like a frustrated idiot and the worst person in the universe. Honestly, these days, I need to say that I've given up on having a good relationship with my family members, especially because it's pointless to try to speak to those who don't want to listen. After many years and valuable lessons in a hostile family environment, I realized that the problem wasn't me, but my family. The truth is many people take out their personal frustrations and unhappiness on the younger ones. Whether these young people are their nephews, children, grandchildren, or siblings, a bitter person always tends to vent everything that went wrong in their life onto the younger ones, hoping they don't turn out any differently than they are. Thinking differently, acting differently, speaking differently, dressing differently, all of this will always provoke some type of uncomfortable emotion in those people. These people will always be there to point out the mistakes of others. But when they are the ones who make a mistake, they never accept having their errors pointed out. They never apologize, never talk about the mistakes they've made. They remain silent, as if nothing happened. When I thought about all this, it took me a while to accept these facts. I took a while to accept that having genetic ties to someone is just that, genetic ties and nothing more. Period. No matter how much religion, in my view, often creates the idea that family is something sacred and sometimes even unquestionable, it doesn't change the fact that we owe nothing to our relatives. Period. We didn't ask to be born. And if we're happy, it's us who create our happiness and nothing more. Of course, there are many people who are excellent human beings and who learned all of this from their relatives. Yes, that's true. However, I am referring to those who exploit the role of parent or any level of kinship to do whatever they want or whatever suits them. I believe there is a scientific explanation for this, and I think any psychologist would be able to explain it. Many times, when I was confused about my family's role in my life, I felt invalidated by everyone. I felt that I needed their approval. I wanted to prove something to them, whatever that something was. Nowadays, I feel like I no longer need that. I don't need anything from anyone anymore. What's mine, I will take. And for my family, what's left for me is to repay them for what they did to me with coldness and distance. I have no remorse about cutting ties with those who harmed me and who wanted to ignore me to make me suffer. I must confess that I am lost, confused, and very frustrated. One more time, I don't mean to play the victim. I just want to reflect on the society I'm a part of. And if you're going through a situation similar to mine, here's the message. If you have the opportunity, don't be afraid to cut ties with people who have harmed you. You owe nothing to anyone. Don't try to play the victim, no matter how seductive it may seem. Move forward, pursue your goals, your passions. Life is much bigger than bitter and frustrated individuals. This isn't about motivation. It's about courage and discipline to live life fully. After all, we don't take anything from this world with us. No matter how complicated it is, keep moving forward. If you feel weak and lost, be strong and move ahead, taking one step at a time. Never stop. Always keep going forward.